This is the pen spring demonstration to illustrate the attorney group with draft comparison and sanitizing for opposing counsel. This group allows you to have your current contract at your hands at all times, being able to see the history of who changed which sentences or added which sections to be able to quickly derive information that you need. Also, as you're on conference calls, you can also collaborate with opposing counsel or your client to be able to add with the attorney who entered the contract originally is the authoritative user who accepts the changes ultimately. We'll create an attorney group by clicking on groups, choosing add a group. Attorney office group is the fourth in the list. And notice then, according to our instructions, you'd want to add the document first, then set up your associates and partners and paralegals on your side, then set up the opposing counsel and restricting them, which is what I'll show you now. Looking at our current editors, let's consider, instead of having to invite a person brand new, let's consider that Audrey here is a partner, Jeff is a paralegal, but Sherlyn is the opposing counsel. She's the one we'd like to restrict. So we've added the first document already. Let's, from the drop-down menu here, we can say give access to my editors. Choosing my first document, we can go to Audrey here, who's been given access already. We can modify by clicking down on the down arrow. And here we have advanced access options. Clicking on that, we can restrict her sentence history view and restrict her from seeing any draft comparison other than the latest draft to the current state of the contract. And she already has given, it's just one section of a document. So we save that. Now notice the S and the D, that means restricted from sentence history, and then D is for draft. You can hover over those and it can tell you. So by a glance at your access granting page, you can see who's been restricted, who has access to which parts. Even if your document or your contract is split up into sections or provisions, you'll see which numbers have been given. You can click in there also to see by name what's been given to that particular user. So given that then, let's go see the draft comparisons. Back to my works, if we go ahead and say organize, click on organize and write on the left, choose my first document, and there's add draft. See that at the end of the line? All the various things you can do, upload, download. We're going to click on add draft, and we're going to call this one February 1st and save it. So now you see that you have a February 1st and you have a current draft. But it doesn't make a lot of sense unless we go out and change the current draft to see what a draft looks like. So editing the current draft, we will just add indemnity, a good one to spell, along with an incomplete sentence. Just choosing another one just to add it, add more here. Okay, so by saving this, we can now be able to go back to our works. So I could have jumped from there, but organize and write my first document. We have one draft. If we click on that, it goes to the draft comparison list, and at this point in time we can compare. My screen is not really wide because this is a demo screen, but you notice on the left you'll see the changes. The left is the most current draft, the right is the old. So you can see that in green we have a brand new sentence that does not exist on the right side. If on the right side we had deleted a sentence, it would have been red. We didn't catch one of those. But on the left side too, you see changes to the sentences that we did, the uploading and test info. See, that's brand new. So this is the way you can see different different comparisons. And oh, I didn't show you this. Let's go back. Organize. In our case, we can click on any of these sentences at any time and see the history. So Joseph is the one who entered it on February 1st. It did not change. Let's find the one that did change. Here we have a bunch of changes now. Joseph on February 1st, Joseph again at 1:41 p.m. So that's about the time. Let's see, 5:11 p.m. What time we have. And so we see our history there. This is what the opposing counsel will be restricted from seeing. They will not be able to click on any sentence and see who did what. That is for the attorney, the original attorney side, with their paralegals and partners. Also, going back to the draft, clicking on the previous button, we see that they will not see any other drafts, but we will. Any drafts that are here that may range way back to November or October will be listed here. The opposing counsel is restricted. They'll only be able to compare the latest draft to the current version. So this will conclude then the demonstration for the attorney group. A lot of good power there for you, particularly being able to keep control and have the current version in front of you at all times. No longer sending off files to others with track changes turned on, waiting for them to get back to you because you can see immediately what's been done, inclusive the notify links to be able to them communicate with you. I'm done. You can now go look at my changes and accept or reject them. And the rejections, by the way, will also be kept in the sentence history. We invite you to see the other demos that would be useful to you to help you perceive of the powerful features of PenSpring.